What's up, guys? Today I'm bringing you Dracula Regalia deck. Yeah, it's kind of it's something different. I didn't want to play Valentina 2.0, and Dracula has the fun little effect of taking people's shit. That's kind of interesting, a little bit. I mean, Valentina can do the same thing, I guess, but Dracula can do it way faster. You can actually J activate on turn 2, turn 3. I've killed someone on turn 4 with this deck. It's actually pretty consistent. Now, I'm going to say this, it's not that great against decks that don't run a lot of creatures. That's where it can become an issue. And I have not made a sideboard for this deck yet, because I think that you should really make a sideboard depending on what your meta is locally. So I'm actually not making a sideboard right now. If you guys want me to make a sideboard, I'll post a separate video with the sideboard included. But for right now, no sideboard. So first we got, obviously, Dracula. He's 1,000, flying, imperishable. If something is dealt damage to him and dies, then it becomes a nightmare vampire, and you gain control of it. His ruler side says you can only activate him if you control a vampire, and if something on your opponent's side dies this turn, and you can also tap him and give something negative 300. So at your upkeep, if he's untapped, you can kill something, and then go into your turn, J activate if you have a vampire, if they have something small enough to kill. Okay, so we're going to go into the creatures now. We're not running a whole lot of creatures because the whole focus is to get Dracula flipped and then start killing people. So we've got 3 Carmilla. She comes in, destroys something. We're not running the full 4 because a lot of times you're not even going to be playing her. You're going to be J activating before turn 4 anyway. But I mean, she's alright. She's, a body, and she kills something. Then we got 4 Servant of Vampire. A lot of times this is the card that you're going to get, and you're going to want to keep a hand with this card in it. And then you're going to want to turn 1 this, turn 2 kill something, J activate. Hopefully you have a Levitine on the board, and then you swing for face and start beating them down. Then we got 4 Laura the Bloodspeaker. She searches for a vampire. A lot of times you'll be searching for a Servant of Vampire, or search for another one of her, or sometimes a Carmilla, or the next card. Next card is 2 Elizabeth. I've done a lot of playtesting with this card, and sometimes it's very, very good, and sometimes it's very underwhelming. It's got a big body, so playing this on turn 3 and then hitting them, then killing something, J activating, swinging Dracula, untapping her, swinging for them again, killing something else, untapping her, swinging them again. She can do a lot of board clearing if you're against, like an aggro deck. She can do some damage. She can clear the board all by herself, so that's why she's in here. She's your primary board clear. Other than that, she's a decent body, so that she'll stick on the board long enough for you to J activate Dracula. Alright, so we're going to move on to the spells. We got 4 Levitin. That's part of the Regalia anyway. And then we got 2 Excalibur for the target attack. The Levitin are a 4 of because they're more important. So it gives you swiftness, gives you plus, and you can sack it and gain imperishable, and you can also recover it. So, sacking your vampires to recover it is definitely a thing that I've done with this. And the Excalibur, it's basically the same thing. Banish it, give it imperishable, but it's mostly for the target attack, so you can push Dracula into something and then steal it. Alright, and then we've got 4 Thunder. Obviously, Thunder's probably one of the best red cards in the game. It does 500 damage to whatever you want. Get it out of the way, or, you can usually hit them with Dracula for a lot of damage and then just thunder to their face if you've got a few thunders in hand, or even just one to finish them off. Then we've got 4 Demon Flame. Demon Flame is great because it's basically another thunder, except if you've already done damage, then it destroys it. So it actually combos really well with Elizabeth. So you can, hit them with Elizabeth, they block thinking it's only 200, and then Demon Flame it, and then untap and do it again. 3 Duel of Truth. It is for Dracula to start stealing their resonators. It deals damage, it's like Fight from Magic. Then we've got 3 Blood-Sucking Impulse. It's basically like Duel of Truth, except their card doesn't do damage back to yours, and you gain life off of it. So it can be a stability type thing. It helps a lot. Then we've got 3 Stoning to Death. Pretty much one of the best removal spells in the game right now because it doesn't do damage, it just outright kills something. So like Gareth, for example, if you thunder him, it just, removes the damage, but if you Stoning to Death him, he's just dead. And then 4 Alvarez the Demon Castle. Pumps vampires, and you can get your vampires back from the graveyard. This is useful considering you don't have a lot of vampires, but the ones you do have, you can make bigger. It also makes Dracula himself bigger in order to swing for games a lot quicker. But being able to recur your vampires if you can't keep them on board because they have a lot of removal is definitely one of the plus sides to this card. Now we're going to talk about the stones. 4 Magic Stone of Scorched Bale, red-black. 5 Darkness Magic Stones. And 1 Fire Magic Stone. Now there's 5 pure black sources, and then there's 5 red sources as well. All your red cards only use 1 red will, so you only really need 1 red source. Most of the time you'll get 1, or you'll get like maybe 2 anyway, so that should work just fine. So, I mean, like I said, the deck doesn't use a whole lot of vampires, just because you want to be J activating Dracula and stealing their resonators instead, because why not? It's way more fun that way, and it's frustrating for them a lot of times. I can't tell you how many fairies that I've stole from people. Stealing Flame Sprite is hilarious, especially if they have multiples and then you steal both of them, and then you start picking off their other fairies with their own Flame Sprites. They get pretty mad, and it's funny. But yeah, guys, that's the deck, and like I said, if you guys want a sideboard built for it later on, I'll definitely do that for you guys. And the next deck tech that'll probably be coming will be Knights of the Round Table. I'm not sure which J-Ruler I want to use yet. Right now I'm using Faria because she's actually pretty underrated if you ask me. I might do Melgus Knights, I might do Blazer Knights. It just depends on how I feel like I want to do it. Let me know your comments in the comment section. Subscribe, like this video, and stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you guys next time. What's going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you a deck tech for Dark Isles. It's going to be a series. I'm going to make a random deck for you guys, but I'm starting off with the one I played really quick. Sorry about the